You're now tuned into the Lady Charmaine live show, and it's Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and we have a great show for you tonight. Tonight, we're literally going to be turning the tables onto ourselves because we have a discussion that we're going to be talking about some of life's moments and some of life's most challenging questions that when I read them, I was even challenged by them. So hopefully you guys are able to join in on the conversation with us. You can give us a call at 916-226-9226. And I got my own show playing y'all all out. 9226. Be sure to like and share this page so all your other friends can get involved in the conversation. And all of that is going to be coming up right after this. The Lady Charmaine live show is sponsored by It's a Garden Party that's going to be taking place here in Sacramento. It's going to be sponsored by Cultured Pearls Foundation in partnership with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. It's going to be taking place Saturday, September the 15th at Plates Cafe right here in Sacramento, and it's going to be benefiting the Cultured Pearls Scholarship. So for more information, just email info@akasdd.org. Again, that's AKASDD.org. And of course, I got my dear friends in the house. I don't just call them friends. They're my co-hosts as well, joining me in the building. Everybody help me welcome my husband, Joe Bassett.
All right. How you doing, baby?
My girl, Ms. Marie Hutchison.
Yes.
And then we got the hair hustler.
What's going on?
He goes by the name of Mr. Derek Dennis.
That's me. That's his name.
Now, you know my boy, Derek Dennis. Now, last week we tried to talk about it right now. This is what happened was. See, what happened was my son got up here in the studio and was touching my little mang switchers. So therefore, y'all could not hear the audio. I did not realize he had turned the switchers down. So we're going to have Derek.
He took accountability, though.
Yeah, he did, and he did. He apologized to his mommy, which I'm so thankful for. But I am so proud of Derek because Derek is doing something that I think is really, really great. And I'm going to make sure that you guys are able to see what Derek is doing because we're about to bring that up in just one second. Derek has started is it a men's line? How do you call it? What do you call it?
Well, it's a hair care line and beard line and body care line for everybody, men, women, and children.
Okay.
Something for everybody. And it's all organic, all natural, constructed and created by me. A lot of hard work being put into it, but it's well worth it because I wanted to come out with something and give the world something that I believed in. I worked for many product companies in the past doing platform work, educating, the people on like stylists and new stylists coming up, students at cosmetology schools, educating them on the products and selling their products for them. So I was always what they call in the industry a product whore, where you just use a lot of different products because you just want to see how they work and compare and contrast them with other ones. So I was known for doing that. So I just decided years ago, actually 7 years ago, that I wanted to do it. And I always thought I needed like some big team or this and that. And then when I started doing my research and, having a few people, pour into me, I just stepped out and on faith and did it myself. And so it's 6 different products, 2 beard products called Earth and Air, and that's for the men. If you like a fresh scent, then you would go with Air. If you like something where you have what we call patchiness for men, and you want those patchy little spots to be filled in, then you go with Earth because it has a lot of growth agents in it. If you want like your hair to smell good and you want a shine to it, then you would go with the high sheen hair fragrance gloss that I have. And then if you wanted, like, if you had curls, coils, and braids and stuff like that, then you would go with the moisturizing serum that I had. And all these products have growing agents in them, so they more, lean to hydration and moisture and growth. And then if you wanted, like, something for the body, then you would go with the Shea Smooth Body Butter that we had. I got two kinds. One with more of a heavier perfumey scent, and then one is unisex for everybody. And so, those are the products, and my hair growth oil. And those are the products that I've been formulating for a while. And I'll launch them in September 29th. So.
Right.
Everybody is able to come out and
Congratulations,
check them out.
man.
That's awesome.
All right,
Thank
check
you,
out them
thank you,
products.
lady, for giving me this platform.
Yeah.
You are
I'm
welcome.
I'm a little bit embarrassed and shy, but I love you for it, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to
Well,
spread the word.
I wanted to make sure everybody saw the pictures of what you was talking about. So everybody, so y'all go and see the products. Of course, we had to support him. He started a business. It is so wonderful, and I just love to see people step out. And I think your beard is gonna be looking lush. Y'all see that lush beard you got over there, all full and lush, and all like no patchiness.
No patchiness. We're gonna get it together. Come on.
I'm gonna need that earth or some of that patchiness. I got patchiness going on.
Said earth,
Okay,
get
yeah,
earth,
yeah,
yeah,
me.
something.
get you some of that earth. Well, we have a great Hot Topic show, and I want you guys to make sure that you guys do chime in on the show because we're going to be talking about some good stuff tonight. And there's the number. It's 916-226-9226. And here is one of the first questions we're going to be talking about. Now I have my glasses on, so I can't even see. So, no, this is what we're going to talk about. I read something, and I'm going to call this section of the show, Are You Kidding Me? I just could not believe this. Some people do, I'm sorry, they do some of the dumbest things. Now, I'm going to share with you guys a story. A 22-year-old young man by the name of Reginald Wooding Jr. was trying to take his driver's test. So he goes down to the DMV, and while he's standing in line, his test examiner got suspicious because he smelled marijuana coming from the car. So what he did, the examiner called the police. The police came, and inside the car, they found 1 pound of marijuana, a 9mm Glock, and $15,000 inside his mother's car that he was going to be using to take his driver's test. How dumb is that?
I can't.
Okay, first of all, 22,
22.
millennial.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I mean,
Oh, is that how you gonna do it?
I'm
Yeah, see?
gonna just do it right
He's
there.
going in, he gonna
But
go
he's, that's just idiotic. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
You know better than that.
You would think,
To a driving test, and if you going to take it, are you that responsible to take a driving test, but you got all this dope and guns in the back of the car? Like, come on, it just don't match up.
Well, all I can say is stupid didn't start that day.
That's true.
That's all I can say about that.
And
He been practicing this behavior for a while. Just today was just the coup de grace.
right.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Like he was immune to it or something. He's
Yeah,
probably
he been
been in there
doing
for
it
a
so
while.
long,
Probably
or
just driving
whatever.
around. and-
You know,
That's-
he's
Don't
not
have
So
no
the
why are we
sharpest-
leaving the mom out though? Because it is her car, right? And he used it to take the driving test, right?
correct.
From the driving train.
Right.
So what is her lifestyle like? Because it's just because she's a mom don't mean she's perfect,
That's true. I mean,
So-
you got parents that smoke weed with their kids.
right? And is she that ignorant to where she wouldn't think, okay, the
Oh,
night before she was
no.
out in the streets doing her thing, and she didn't think, okay, my son is taking this test, let me go get my car cleaned out, and then normally test her earlier. So where she still sleep, and he went. I'm confused with the whole scenario because I'm like, it's just too much going on.
Derek got a point. We're assuming the mom is innocent and all this. I don't know. I mean,
Right.
but I'm assuming that is his stuff already.
Yeah, that's true. It looked definitely like
that looked
it.
like
That is so
you know,
sad.
but-
Because I was
Automatically,
thinking
he's to
myself
blame.
too. I was about to say, well, that
He's
I'm like,
going down.
the way this world is going, she might be caught up in
Might-
it.
Yeah, you never know.
You
might
went
be.
to the DMV test first. You didn't go to the house first to drop off. She might
Like
be.
2 Chainz and his mommy, they said was so dope at the same house.
Oh,
Did they?
Trapped at the same
oh,
house.
wow.
See,
Okay.
I
Well,
take
how
that
the
back,
rich stay
millennials.
rich. Family.
It could be other generations too.
Right.
and this, especially in California,
Yeah,
we're legalizing it,
Ooh,
so you
that's
never know.
crazy.
So, you guys, here is the question. We're going to be talking about life's most challenging questions, something that kind of make you think, like they used to say, things that make you go, interesting. So we want you guys to chime in on the conversation, okay, at 916-226-9226. And here is the first question. What life lesson did you learn the hard way? I'm going to tell y'all my life lesson I learned. I'll kick it off. I remember when I had got this job at Emporium Capwell years ago, still young, still dumb. I call it young and dumb because you don't know in your parents and grandparents try to give you wisdom, but you think you know everything. And I remember I was having an issue with the supervisor, and I was telling my grandmother about it. And I was telling her how I was talking to one of my coworkers about it. And now I'm new on the job. I hadn't been there long. And I was telling my grandmother how I was talking to one of my coworkers about it. And she said, Charmaine, don't be talking to your coworkers about your boss because you don't know the relationship that they have with their boss. because they can go there and sit up there and tell them what you said. And I was like, no, Grandma, she wouldn't do that. And my grandmother said, you don't know that girl. Well, lo and behold, I go back to work and get called in the office. I didn't know that my boss and homegirl was tight. They were dear friends. She repeated everything. The whole time I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about what my grandmother said. And when you say learn the hard way, I will always remember that. So that taught me a very valuable lesson that my grandmother knew exactly what she was talking about.
That's good. That's real.
She knew what she was talking about. Exactly. Derek, you.
She's seen her type before. You know?
Exactly. And when you live longer, that's why I thank God for getting older, because with age comes wisdom. And so now you try to share with your children, and sometimes people reject it, just like I did, but my grandmother was totally right. But with age comes wisdom. So I love getting older because of the wisdom that I gain as I'm getting older.
Yes. You ain't lying. Well, for me, I think it was my I've always been a kind person. But then if I'm triggered, then it's hard to bring me back down and all. So I would say my temper. I've worked at 43. I think that my temper is nothing like my early 30s or 20s. I've really consciously made an effort to want to change it and say, you know, this is not a good look, especially when you see it, if somebody filmed it or something like, oh my God, you looking at your face. You see people telling you about you looking like a monster, and it's just not the way you want to conduct yourself and carry yourself, and you lose control. That's embarrassing because you've lost self-control. You've embarrassed yourself that you let somebody bring you out of your character that much and gave them that power and control to where you're looking stupid. And it was disgusting to me. So I had to really go into myself and say, is this what you want to exemplify to your daughter? Is this how you want her to handle her situations? What's the problem? What's going on with you? Why are you reacting this way? And I had to really go down and figure it out and sift through everything that was going on in my life and what was triggering it. And I found out it was because of my childhood and my resentment towards my mother, you know, and some for my father, but that's over with. But, you know, just still dealing with that and not knowing how to sift through it. And so now at 43, I'm happy to say that I'm nothing like, I don't even recognize that person no more, you know, and I'm so happy that I did it, you know, and I learned that it was a hard lesson because you hurt people, you hurt yourself. And that's a good question because it's like even when Lady Charmaine asked it, I just, you know, you never really sit back and think about it and how far you came and like, wow, that was the issue for me.
All right, Marie.
Ask me the question again.
What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
Yeah, life lessons, hard way, life, hard way. I mean, so many, right? But I think for me,
Marie.
I'm sorry. Forgive me for the pause. I was talking in my head. I think the lesson that I've learned in life is being true to who you are, making sure that happens for you. Because there were times, a big time in my life where I wasn't, and I was just acting real crazy and hurting people around me, and looking at that happen and thinking to myself, I'm not this person. Like, why is this happening? I'm not this person. So it's kind of the same realization you have for your issue, but for me, what mine looked like, it was like, okay, I can't, this is not who I am. You know what I'm saying? So the life lesson that I think I learned was to really be transparent and true to myself and who I am, and owning when I did something crazy, owning it.
Owning it. That's good.
You know what I mean?
That's good. A
Owning
lot of
it,
people
not
don't want to
just-
own it.
Yeah, not just saying, okay, that happened, but truly owning it. And owning it sometimes means action. If I have to go back and apologize to somebody, or if I have to do whatever, or go back and reconcile, or just whatever, just owning it. And I think that's what I've been through has taught me that lesson.
That's good.
Joe?
For me, I would say it's as simple as credit. You know, I had a credit card at 18, and I just blasted that thing up and had another one and tore that thing up and maxed them all out and just, you know, was paying interest. When I look back on how I used and misused credit and misused, you know, finances and the money that I wasted on fees and closing cars and opening cars and not even looking at how that would affect. Now I understand, but you know, I'm 49 now, but I was 18. I was just for years, just not even conscious of how money worked and finances and how important that was. And, you know, I was living in San Francisco, and I can remember houses, you know, being $200,000 and thinking how expensive that was. And not having the sense of, you know, I don't know, I just like real estate, you know,
Yeah.
I looked at missed opportunities, and it's like,
Right.
I'm learning the hard way, you know, now that it's passed and had to deal with the fees and all the other stuff to get the stuff straight. I wish I would have known that earlier.
Yeah,
I wish I would have known, you know, listen to somebody earlier, and somebody would have pointed me in the direction like, you know what, that house is in San Francisco for $200,000. That's a good deal.
But why don't our parents
Teach
teach
you
us
know?
that, though, Brother Joe? Why our parents? We have the
man.
Caucasian. No
'Cause they
offense
don't
against the Caucasians, but a lot of times you see people you go to school with, and they're in seniors, and they're talking about stuff that you don't even fathom. So, you know. So
I
why
didn't
don't our
listen,
parents?
But my mom taught me about budgeting money.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
She did. She
Okay.
sat me down, so I was like, "Whoa," but yes, she taught me a system that I foolishly wouldn't use. Isn't that crazy?
See, that's
But
it.
I know it.
You can know
And
it,
I
but
can,
not
I can
use
dive off
it.
into it. I'm
Yeah.
in it right now, though. I'll tell you that
That's
much.
good.
I bet you I'm using it now.
That's why I try to tell my kids about budgeting, because I didn't have anybody talking to me about that.
That's
You know,
right.
saving my money, investing, looking at things beyond the immediate. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
We get that credit card, we go immediate.
Go crazy.
And it's like, and we don't know how the credit scores affect you later and what you can get and how it can restrict you. And
Yeah.
It's
I didn't know
everything.
any of that. I
wish
had to learn
just
that the hard
listened.
way.
I didn't, you know. I never had credit cards or anything like that, but I wasn't understanding how to build credit. But you're right. That's a
Yeah,
good
it's
one.
just-
That's a
that
good
was-
one, actually.
That was just.
That was a really, really good one, because I think I definitely learned the hard way with that. I mean, it was literally like, charge
Ain't
it.
lying.
Because, you know, when you go to college, you're 18, and all of a sudden they got the little tables. You know, you can get your
You get a
credit card.
T-shirt, get a free T-shirt. You sign up for
Yeah.
this credit
And
card.
this how I got my very first one. They were in my college lobby, and then they was like, you want to get a credit card? And I didn't know a whole lot about credit. And then I'm like, well, I don't have a job. And they said, that's okay. And so they wrote in the amount that they said, I mean, I wasn't going to do that. So I'm not going to lie on the application.
Wow.
So I never forget the person wrote in. So I'm like, okay, I got the credit card and did not realize that from one credit card, you can get another credit card. And before I knew it, I was in that mall. I was getting credit cards because you could open them up at some stores instantly. And
department
at the
stores
department store, I would
yes.
charge up the credit card that day. Getting a whole new word just so before I left, the credit card is maxed out. I didn't realize
Lady
you got
was
bills
getting
that's
it.
gonna come in the mail in 30 days.
You was looking sharp though.
Well, yeah, I was clean.
Super
Like
fly.
my grandma say, sharp as a rat
What you
tail on
mean,
both
face
ends.
beat?
Beat up, you hear me? But I definitely learned that. If you learned any valuable lessons, what did you learn the hard way? Give us a call, 916-226-9226. We definitely want to hear from you. Also, here's the next question. I thought this one was really good. This was a challenging one. If you had a friend who spoke to you in the same way that you sometimes speak to yourself, how long would you allow this person to be in your life?
See, for me, I'm pretty critical of myself. And so if I had a person that would constantly speak to me like that, I would have to have a break from that person.
Yeah.
Because I could, because I'm really, I criticize myself more than anybody. Like if I
Right.
mess up, I know I messed up. And then I'll kind of replay for me. But if I had a friend like that that just like constantly reminded me of how bad I was or what I messed up on, I couldn't be friends for long because I already beat up myself. I don't need somebody else hitting me over the head too.
Yeah.
And so that might be something, you know, for me. I know how I am, and so I'm enough all by myself.
Right.
That part.
You don't need no partners with you.
I don't need nobody else telling me.
homies.
That's Aquarius, baby.
Marie?
I'm cool with me. I would like to hear me talk about to me because I encourage me. And when me do something, when I tell me,
Okay, me.
No, I'm serious. I do. I talk to myself, and sometimes I'm critical. But one thing I've noticed about myself is that I'll pull it back. And so I wouldn't mind dealing with me because me knows that we need breaks. And so me and me would take
Me
breaks.
knows. She say me
Me
knows.
knows.
That me
knows.
need.
Me knows. But no, but seriously, I wouldn't. If I had somebody talk to me like I talk to myself in my head, I'd be okay because the person in my head prays. The person in my head breaks down stuff. I'm an overthinker, and I kind of, and God's learning how to work with that with me. But I wouldn't mind talking to somebody who talk like me.
Okay,
All right.
interesting.
Interesting.
All right, Derek.
Well, I'm torn. I'm on the cusp. Like, I would want to talk to me, but then I'd be like, I wouldn't want to talk to me. I would want to talk to me because I am uplifting. I have a heart for people. Like, for real, when I'm asking you about it, your business, I really care.
It's true, yeah.
And so, and then I have, like Brother Joe, like I'm so critical of myself, and it's like you can beat yourself up and be your worst enemy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm torn. It's like I would want it to talk to me, but then I wouldn't want to. So I'm torn. I can't think. I can't think, y'all.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
Now for me,
is.
if I had someone talk to me like I talk to myself, it wouldn't bother me because I really don't do a lot of negative self-talk towards myself. Now, back in the day, I would hate that person to be around me. We wouldn't be friends for long.
That's right.
But now, I'm very positive when it comes to myself. Now about losing this weight thing now. I don't need nobody talking to me about my weight because I already messed up myself.
That's when you would have to leave you alone.
Exactly. But anything else, I don't do any negative self-talk towards myself. Because because I'm a Christian and because I believe what the Bible says, I just am who I am in Christ Jesus. So I don't really do a lot of, when I thought about that, I'm like, I don't do a lot of negative stuff. Like, girl, you were so stupid. Why you do that? Yeah, I know the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I could literally, I've grown to stand behind why I do what I do. And I know it might drive my husband crazy sometimes because I'm straight up. Yeah, I said it and I meant it. You know what I mean? I'm not just to him, but I'm just talking about now when I say, when I say things, it's because I meant that. You know what I mean? And I meant it at that moment instead of going back, oh, I'm so sorry. No, I meant that.
Like, you thought about it before you know what you're saying.
Right. So I don't have to be like, oh man, I didn't really. No, I knew exactly what I was saying when I said that to you. And I was very clear when I said that to you.
It's a very freeing behavior.
Right. And it is. It's very, very freeing. You know what I'm saying?
It really is.
So yes,
I got a question. They don't have to. They don't got to put 5 on it because the 5 was late on the tip.
Right. You know. So you know exactly where I'm coming from.
But it'd be so blatant. You'd be like, "Are you me?" You know, they'd be like, "Oh no."
Some people need blatant because when somebody trying to okie doke you and slide in a little comment on you when they talking to you,
true.
And then when you respond with the 5, they be like, "Oh yeah, yep."
You know, sometimes I have to ask people, "Oh, was that shade?"
Right.
Were you trying to throw shade? Because I'm, I'm just letting you know, was that shade?
So I'm going to clap back.
Then they'll be like, oh, no, because I'm letting you know, I caught that
back.
shade.
I'm going to clap back.
That's you all day.
Right.
That's you all day.
And people don't expect me to clap back. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, because I'm a nice person.
No, I like that behavior because it checks that person right in their stuff. I've been checked like that. I threw shade one time, and she just one lady checked me, so I was like, I will never do that again.
Like I said, I'm trying to be funny. Trying to be funny. Okay, now here is another one I thought was so good, and this was a challenging question. Y'all give us a call, 916-226-9226. When it's all said and done, will you have said more than you have done? Now, this is my life's motto. Don't talk about it, be about it. I do not like when people are just steady talking about what they're going to do. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Now, okay, I'm going to hear you the first time. My husband knows this how I am. I'm going to hear you the first time. Thank you for sharing with me your vision. So nice. Okay. So then the second time, you're sharing with me your vision. But see, my thing is, this is how I am. If I talk about something, you best believe the next time you hear it, I'm moving towards it. I'm not just that daydreamer. Oh, this is what I would like to do 10 years later. Oh, this is what, that's not me. Exactly. And I don't have time to continue to hear your daydreams and you're not doing anything.
That's right.
So the third time you come to me and I hear about it and you ain't doing nothing, don't talk to me about it no more.
Yeah.
Until you are putting feet to your face.
Yeah.
Because you talking about it ain't going to do anything. Because in my life thus far, all the things I said that I wanted to do, I've done it. And my husband knows that. Yeah. If I start talking about it, you best believe there's going to be some action behind it. I done wrote it down. And so now the wheels start to turning if I'm talking about it. You know what I mean? And so that's going to be my next move. So that's just my thing. So a lot of people, they say a whole lot and they ain't did nothing.
Nothing.
Girl, didn't you say that last year?
Yeah.
Girl, didn't you say that last year? That's you getting always getting ready to start. Always getting ready.
For starting line. Yep.
Girl, getting ready. I'm going to get.
And they don't, and then people stop believing you.
Oh, of course.
There you go.
And let it manifest.
Right.
Stop believing.
Of course.
I try to let my actions speak for me. You know, I try not to do a whole bunch of talking. Now, one of the best things we've done as a family was those vision boards.
Correct.
That you've done a few years ago. Because I can look at my vision board from a couple of years ago. I left it up. I didn't do one all new. You know, I just kept it up because there's certain things that are still there that I'm still reaching for.
Exactly.
But one of the things that's been on there for the last 2 years has been a cruise, and we're about to take that cruise.
You're there.
And so it was like different things I can see. My vision board that's come to pass. I try not to do a whole bunch of talking. Now, inevitably, there's going to be some stuff that just not I'm still reaching for. I haven't really put it out there because I'm still trying to achieve. But I hope when all is said and done, that I've done more than what I've said. That my actions, you can just look at my works and say, wow, he was able to accomplish. But yeah, the vision boards was awesome. We did that, and I can see, talking about the marriage, the men's ministry, trip. We still got the Hawaii trip on there. We got some getting out of debt stuff on there. We got some spiritual goals that are on there.
Minivan sitting outside.
Minivan. the exact picture is on there.
It's right there.
I still got my other car on there. I mean, there's some things that I think is so powerful when you can have something before you and then, like my wife said, have an action to get what you put out there, and not just talk about it. So.
And having it visual every day brings you closer to your goal. And that's the reason because of y'all, I'm doing that vision board with my family. And I tell them I need to put more action to it because they're not up yet. But I keep saying, Lady Charmaine and Brother Joe got this vision board, and they're like, okay, what is it? They know, but they don't know. But when I have to put it to action, put it up for myself, and then they'll get excited.
Because to wake up and see that every day
does something to you. I mean,
it does something to you. It's a trip.
It's amazing.
Right.
But I'm gonna be transparent because this question hit me because I've had ideas forever that I've just. Yes. And it is just now that I'm finally making steps. I'm finally making steps to make it happen.
Amen.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
It's like just so many ideas, and I'm like, man, and I'm just glad the Lord didn't, because there's a time it'll come where he'll do that thing and have its moment, and then it'd be the wind to be right out the sail on it, and that did it go past. You know what I mean? That makes sense what I'm saying? Like if you have an idea, you sit on it for too long, then everybody forgets about it.
That's
It's
right.
laying dead. I don't want that to happen to me. So God has got me in a good position right now. So
All right.
I'm one of those people. This question hit me hard. I'm like,
Very good.
talking too much.
But, it was things that really made me think. And this was another question that made me think. I'm going to ask you guys this question. Have you done anything lately worth remembering? Anything lately worth remembering, Marie?
Yeah, my job, every day I do something worth remembering for the people I work with. Just when I hear people come back to me and tell me things that they remember about me or that I've done, I'm like, and I remembered that. That was worth, you know what I'm saying? I have done things worth remembering.
That's right.
That's good.
You know, my current client right now, he's like, when are you coming back? Because you make everything so much better for me. That moment right there, worth remembering.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that what you're asking? Does that make sense? That's what because my job does that for me. Makes moments all the time that worth remembering because I have an opportunity to minister to God every day.
That's right.
That's
To
good.
minister God to these people every day in their weakest moment in their lives, and I'm there able to comfort them with just my presence.
Yes.
That's good. Joe?
For me, I feel as I get older, I'm cherishing the moments I have with my kids so much more now. Like the time I spent with Josiah, he's only 4, and Serenity's still in the house. She's a senior this year. Just the times that I have with them are moments that I know that I'm creating that I hope that they would look back and see, wow, my dad did this, and we were here, and being consistent and inputting into their lives. Those are moments that I would hope they would treasure as much as I'm treasuring, because I know how fleeting they are. I know they're going to be gone, but Serenity's going to be leaving next year. Josiah, he's 5 now. He's going to be 10 before I look up, and so I look at those moments, creating, and I look at that as part of my job, to create moments for the family, moments for my children, moments for my wife. So, I mean, that's important. So I think what I'm doing right now and just my involvement, more so than my job, but I have a different kind of job. My job is not pouring into lives.
right,
I'm
right.
getting production. I'm doing stuff different.
Right.
But I'm looking at my kids as like, man, that's my everything right now. My wife, my family.
That's beautiful.
And literally, you know, pouring into someone else's life and sowing into someone else's life that, you know, probably couldn't do. I have another job, and a young lady lost her mom. And so I was able to get a card and get people to sign the card, and people put money in the card, you know, just to be able to help her, you know, in her definite time of need as well. And, you know, would you be able to say something or do something that will help somebody? And a young lady I work with, she was literally going through because her daughter was contemplating on having an abortion. Well, no, she had made the appointment to go, and now the abortion. And so I had prayed with her, and then she texted me the next day, let me know her daughter decided not to do it. And so she's having the baby. And so, you know, so that right there to me was really a blessing to know. So now she's really excited about being a grandmother. And so, you know, she shares all those little moments, and she'll say, my daughter has a doctor's appointment tomorrow. And so I'm really thankful, you know, for that. So, you know, is there something that you can do or say to really touch someone's life, and for her to be thankful that I came into her life? And let me tell you something about this individual. Nobody likes her. No one talks to her but me.
Wow.
Like, no one talks to her but me. But the thing is, you know, I was able to see her through her exterior, and I just told her, I said, because you got an RBF face, and some people are intimidated by that. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't bother me at all. You know, and she is the nicest lady. She is. But you have to like peel through that to get to know them. And then once you hear her story is amazing, and then you realize why she has such a hard exterior. And that's why I always talk about people meet people in different chapters in their book.
Yep.
You don't know if you meet them in chapter 5, 6, 7, or 8. So I met her right now in a jacked up chapter. It's like, good God.
And that's like about 5 or 6, chapter 5 or 6, get off into.
Right. So, you know, so you never know. So, you know, so that right there, you know, for me is a blessing. And I know it's going to be something that she's always going to remember, you know, as well.
That's good.
So that's what, so that, you know, and here's another question. Is it possible to lie without saying a word?
I think withholding certain information is lying.
Yeah.
Like
There
if
you go.
You know that, and
There
you're
you
not
go.
saying that or telling other people. Withholding information to me is the same thing as lying.
There you go.
Like,
My mom
you know
used to
better.
always say that, and I'd be like, how? Because how? I used to always say to her, how can I be lying
Yeah.
when I ain't even saying
Me and
that?
Tommy go back on that.
But
Yeah.
you was
No,
there, you was there, and you saw it,
Right.
and you synced it. But you didn't even ask me no question
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
for me to lie it. But you was there, you should have said something.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lie?
That's it. You didn't say
Withholding
nothing.
it.
There you go.
It could be
holding.
some debt. Like, say for instance, you was at the bar, right, and you seen your sister's husband, and now this is a faithful man or whatever, and then he at the bar, and y'all hecka cool, like everything's giving you, it's you and him kikiing and this and that, but then he got another life, and during the week he is at the bar with another chick, and you walk in there with your homegirl on happy hour or whatever, and then you see him there. And it may not be nothing big. It might just be a friend coming from, you know, they just might be coming from work. But the first action of you seeing them and your sister, thinking your sister, all those thoughts, and they're leaning and you know, or what are you gonna tell? Are you gonna, because your love for him after them the 50 years or 30 years they've been married, and your loyalty to him, are you gonna either go up to him and say, look, you know that you woman, or are you gonna be like, and he say, look, please don't tell you this ain't nothing, but you know how your sister is. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Dramatic music as it
What
plays
you
behind
gonna
my
do?
statement.
That's the question.
Set it up.
No,
What you gonna
because
do?
I can see where the lie would come in. I can see where the lie would come in on that. Like,
right.
My husband would answer his phone the other day. You know anything? You see where he was?
Now you didn't withheld the information. Now you have to answer.
I can't. Oh, I get it. That makes all the sense in the world.
Right. You
Because
can
the question
lie.
gonna pop up.
There you go.
Oh, Derek.
What are you gonna say? I mean,
Right.
that's your opportunity to either.
I'm just gonna
is it
stay
lie?
home. I'm just gonna stay home. I ain't going nowhere.
But no,
See,
that's true
that's
though,
so
and it's
true.
possible to lie
That's so
without
true.
saying a
Oh
word.
my
When somebody asks you a
gosh.
question, you just don't say anything.
Don't say nothing.
You know, has anybody seen my keys, or has anybody seen my $10 I left, and you didn't say anything because you knew you took it.
Yeah. So what you mean, lady? Just keep your mouth closed.
Well, they call
You in
that
the room.
they call that pleading the fifth.
Right.
Oh.
This is it.
Because they know you can lie on yourself
Right,
if you
right.
keep talking.
Talking, exactly.
Oh, geez.
Make
I plead
yourself
the
up.
fifth that I won't say nothing
Exactly.
because I'm going to incriminate myself.
That's true.
Ooh-wee.
But-
Oh, that's
You have the right to
weird.
remain silent.
That could be a lot of scenarios because then you
That
think
is.
about the Love and Hip Hop. Like, guess Safari didn't sleep with Lyrica because did he not answer? Because he didn't
You know
answer.
what? I saw
Did
that.
So-
he
so what is
just
it?
say-
I saw that.
So
I
that's
saw
another
that.
example.
That's
Like
another
because he
example.
didn't answer or
Hey,
just look like
his
this.
eyes lied.
He was
Okay,
like,
exactly.
You look him in his eyes. He was all shifty and
He
all
was
over the
shifty.
place.
You didn't
boy.
sleep with
Okay,
somebody
y'all.
else's wife. No, you should get 8
But
of
it
them.
looked like he did answer though on the last episode. He did answer. He did
did
sleep
he?
with the
He
girl.
gave-
Okay, because
He
I thought he was just
gave.
looking. Because that's guilty. If you don't answer and they ask
Because
you that,
Ray J played him, and Ray J said Lyrica told her
See, I
and
husband,
saw
I applaud
that.
and he
him.
was,
Get it
and
out
he was
however
like,
you can.
"Oh, you know," she said, and he was like, "Man, you know, it just happened."
Good.
So yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
but
Yeah.
even before
Yeah,
that,
I'm
he was
talking about
he was
love and
real-
hip-hop.
he
Ain't
was
that
real
so
shit.
Right. But it was a good example. That's true. How you
Real
get
shit.
caught
Good
up.
example.
You can get caught. That's crazy. Okay.
See, there's so many examples of that. Just
Yeah,
lying
yeah,
without, I don't know. Yeah,
It
you
is.
can lie a lot of ways. without saying nothing.
Absolutely. Now here's another question for y'all. What could you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? I have a testimony. I got a testimony. Oh, I was at church on Sunday. No, she didn't. I was at church on Sunday in Houston, Texas. I was at Joel Osteen's church. And Tyler Perry was ministering, doing praise and worship. I was sitting there because I had a different type of praise. And I just praised my little heart out. And this is why. Because 1 year ago on Sunday, I was so broken because it was the day of my mother's homegoing service. 1 year ago on Sunday. So I knew where I was emotionally 1 year ago.
Wow.
A hot mess. And to be able to sit in church and praise God and just be so thankful that I wasn't broken like that anymore.
That's good.
And fighting that depression and, you know, where I was, I was able to smile genuinely and really thank God for just who he was. I'm able to say that because it's literally, it was like taking one day at a time after my mother passed. It was so
And let
horrible.
me add this. I'm sorry, lady, but you also was dealing with death at the same time because your friend died.
Yes.
So
it-
how could you? That's
That's
amazing
even more
to me.
intense.
and
That's-
yeah,
that's-
and yeah, and just and I had literally just buried my best friend the day before because I was in Houston for her service, and then the next day it was celebrating 1 year since my mother's service, and to be able to be in church and to praise
Yeah.
the Lord.
That's
Have
good.
that
For
kind of
me,
spirit.
That's
it was
good.
a powerful
That's-
moment.
Yes.
That's unexplainable.
Mhm. It was
awesome.
a
And that say a lot about
perfect.
you and
That's
your faith
perfect.
and your
Growth.
understanding where your mom is and who she is now in the spirit realm and just understanding the God and just the Trinity. You know, understanding that you are a true Christian. If a year ago you have peace, yeah, your life won't be the same,
Right.
but you have peace. You know,
Yep.
that's something I think everybody craves, especially
Amazing.
when something like that happens. You know,
Right.
it's just I'm
Because
happy
you're gonna
for
need
you.
Jesus when you go through it.
You
Marie,
ain't
you looking
lying.
like Marie over there.
No, I was,
I don't know, but
that was good.
I'm like,
I
I'ma
was
need
just
6
thinking.
years,
I was
7 years.
thinking.
Right.
No, I was just thinking about my growth. Like, there's a lot of things that I have grown up. Oh, so many.
So what happened? So okay, give us your top two in just this 365 days.
Okay. One is listening, hearing the voice of God more. I'm so in tune right now, learning how to really be in my faith. That's a big deal for me. And when the enemy or when I try to betray myself, like when I say betray myself, like I had these moments where I get lonely, right? So a long time ago, I threw away my black book. I threw it away a long time ago. But I still have these moments where I'll be like, but I've grown. I don't do it anymore.
All right.
It don't raise up on me. And if it does, I know, I recognize it, and I know how to boop
That's it.
and do what
That's
I need
good.
to do. Where before I
That's
used to
good.
just go with it. I used to just go with it. So now it's just this place now where I'm like, the feeling pop up. Okay, no, because there's too much hanging on that. God's got to bless me with this right here, and I ain't got no time for that. So I don't have no energy to be wasting over here with this lonely feelings when I got God doing something over here. So stop calling me, brothers.
All right.
Stop
That's good.
calling me.
That's really good.
Leave me
That's
alone.
good.
Yeah. Joe?
I ain't got no time for it.
For me, I don't worry as much as I used to last year. I think my growth in accepting when things don't go my way, I'm learning even more how to just flow with it. You know, I figure, you know, God has a plan, and I got my stuff all worked out. My wife, no, I'll calculate everything, and that stuff don't work out. I'm a little frustrated because it didn't work out as planned. But now I'm learning how to, you know, just kind of like, okay, well, next. There must be something next. We just got to go for the next thing and not really getting myself stuck in what didn't work. I'm better at that now than I was a year ago, you know, when things didn't work out. So I'm learning, and that's one thing I can say about myself as far as growth.
Yeah. It feels good, huh?
Yeah, it feels
Derek?
good. It's freeing.
It is very.
It's freeing. It's like, you know, I'm not in control. I can't control everything. So I'm learning what I can't control and embracing the fact that, you know, there's going to be some areas of, you know, just, you know, I'm not going to know.
Right. Derek?
It was about change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would think, for me, not because people would always like, well, you don't never do this well because I gave so much at work. I would work from 10 in the morning to 1 at night, just standing behind a chair, just every day, missing out on my family, missing out on just things because I loved what I did so much. And after 23 years, you fall in love with it, and you have a demand on you, and you put others before you because they have this place to go. They have this. Oh, Derek, please, can you? And you just fitting people in. And I didn't have no control over that, I felt, you know, until I stopped and said, another year passed, 5 years. You know, you made time, but it was, I got to get back to work. And now I really make time for friends and family and being there for the people who really need me, you know, and
That's good.
truly being there for them instead of just working all the time or being there for I love my clients, I love y'all, but it's like sometimes, you know, the family and friends get mad at them, like, you know, they make the only people in your life, you know, you take a break or do something like that. So I'm grateful now that I'm getting better at it, you know.
That's good. Now, this is another question I thought was really good, and I wish I would have had this question when I was a newborn. The question is, if you could instill one piece of advice in a newborn baby's mind, what advice would you give? And the piece of advice I think I would give a newborn is do not let others' opinion of you shape who you are.
Come on.
That's it. I
Come
can answer
on.
that.
Do
Me
not
either. I'm
allow
done.
others'
I'm
opinion of you shape
behind
who
that.
you
Nope.
are.
Yeah.
And that is what I would give a newborn baby, because we allow that so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
That's
And you
it.
see that in elementary school, middle school, high school, because we're so
Yes.
worried about what others think about us, that we are not able to form who God made us and really come into who we really are, because we're so busy trying to please other people to get them to like us, so we become somebody else. And how there's an old saying, we were all born an original, but then we're going to all die a copy of somebody else.
That's so powerful.
I can't come behind that.
That's so powerful.
No, I'm not even trying to be funny because that's pretty much it. That's what
I can.
That's
Don't
what.
let people shape you. What was the question? I'm gonna say exactly what she said. I'm gonna come behind it with her,
really?
Yeah, man.
with her answer.
Because you do that.
Yeah. If you could instill one piece of advice in a newborn baby's mind, what advice would you give?
I mean, that all I can do is expound on what you
Yeah,
said
exactly.
because that's so powerful. Because
Exactly.
kids, just think about how much they absorb and how much they want to please, and they see and get acceptance from their peers. And you can be the oddball, but you're trying to fit in with everybody else. But you being the oddball, you more of an original.
You're right.
You got some new ways of looking at things. You got new ways of new ways of just dealing with stuff.
Right.
That could be a cure, could be an artist, could be anything that God made you, but yet you want to fit in with everybody else.
Right.
That's, common.
follow
So,
a trend.
And you want to know what's so funny? I got to share this story. I'll never forget. I called it trying to be regular, right? Because I worked in entertainment and got out of entertainment because I wanted to be a regular person, get a regular job, do regular things that regular people do, right? So I go get this job, and I'm working at an accounting firm, and I was sitting at the front desk, and I never forget, my boss, she calls me to the back. She was like, Charmaine, come sit in my office. So I sat down, and then she said, Charmaine, I'm letting you go. Say what? And I'm sitting there like, yeah. She said, you need to be in Hollywood somewhere knocking on doors. And this is what she told me. I had never heard this term before. She said, you are a square peg trying to fit in a round hole. She said, your aura is too big for this office. You need to be in Hollywood. And then she goes, I'll never forget it. So I'm setting you free.
Don't ever get
With
fired.
a-
Wait,
with a pig
That was
slip.
that was the most
ever
friendliest
get
fire.
fired
Wait a minute.
because you just too big.
Pig
She
slip.
was so sweet, and she literally saw my future. She was like, I just see you in Hollywood somewhere. And then I told her, I never forget, I said, but I can't go and tell Honda that because I just bought a brand new Honda Civic. I
Yeah.
said, I can't go tell Honda that.
Okay,
Right.
for
That ain't
real.
gonna work. I still
Right.
got a card note to pay.
That's right.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
But she was
Unbelievable.
so sweet, and it's like I couldn't be mad at her, and she was right. You know,
Yeah.
and I was trying to just do the regular thing.
dumb.
But was
Yeah,
they
he was
getting
dumb,
jealous?
yeah.
Was they getting reports? Why was they
Oh,
thinking your
no,
aura
it
was so
was-
big?
she just recognized her
it was
gift.
it was only 3 of us that worked in the office. She was a very nice lady. She wasn't being stinky or anything like that. When I say she bid me farewell, it was the most beautiful.
God will
Wow.
set people in your path to keep you going towards your path.
And mind you, she knew nothing of what I used to do. She never knew that I did movies or
what I'm
commercials.
saying?
She didn't know any of that. She did not
Unbelievable.
know my past. I didn't put none of that on the resume. I just kept all that off.
God will
And
be
I
people.
kept it all off. So she had no idea
Wow.
what I used to do and what I was trying not to do anymore. But she was still yet able to see.
That you belong there.
right. So she
Out
had
here.
no idea. Mhm.
You know, as you were talking, one thing that popped in my mind that I would tell a young child or want to put in a young child, receive wisdom.
Oh yes.
That's good.
Receive
Let it go.
wisdom. Because sometimes people refuse it, and it's like it's staring you in the face, trying to help you progress. And I see it in my own kids sometimes. Like, didn't we talk to you about that? And you come across the same situation. It's one thing to hear it, but to receive it
Yes.
is you owning it. Now that's yours. Now you can have the wisdom going forward and apply what you know, not just what you heard. It's something of a knowing. So for a child or anybody at that point to receive wisdom, so you now own it and you have wisdom moving forward in your decision. That's something I would
That's
want
brilliant.
to tell a child. Receive it.
And repeat it back to me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
can you repeat it back?
I
That's
do
right.
that with Josiah. I tell him, I'm telling you this. How many times do I tell you to do something? One time. You know, I want that response. He says one time. You know, I'm trying to put something in.
That's right.
You know, when you listen, you do what? You learn. So
right.
so stop
That's
talking so much.
excellent.
Learn. So trying to put that into him so that he can go forward with that.
That's
So he has some
awesome.
tools to learn and receive wisdom with, because you know, kids that there's so much out there.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
wisdom at their fingertips. I mean, wisdom in the form of their parents, and wisdom on different teaching programs. It's like, receive it.
I
Exactly.
pray it over my
That's
daughter
so
every
real.
morning. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding,
Yes.
prosperity, provision, and favor. I pray that over her every day.
Yes.
You know,
Amen.
because those are the things that you need: wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Yes.
If you have the wisdom, you can
Yes.
have the knowledge, understand it.
Yes.
Right.
Understand
Yes.
it.
Yes.
That right there is so true. And here is the last question for you all. Here it is. See my son back
Yeah.
there. What has life taught you recently? And I think for me, what life has taught me recently, just raising children, that nobody owe you nothing.
Ooh,
We have children today that think
me
that
all
people
day.
owe you something. No one owes you anything.
It's an
And the world will let you know they don't owe you nothing
That's good.
Real
at
quick.
all. So that's what life has taught me recently through my kids.
Yeah. That's
Don't
good.
nobody owe you anything.
That's
good.
And so don't live life like somebody owe you something.
Yes. That's good.
Joe?
For me, life has taught me to forgive quickly, because you will be disappointed. People
Come
will
on.
hurt you. Things won't go your way. They're going to say stuff
Come
that
on.
That's
you're not going to
good.
receive and not going to like. But I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to move on.
Right.
And I've learned that, and that's helped me to just continue going forward. Forgive quickly.
That's powerful. Breathe.
Come on, brother Joe.
Breathe.
that's real. Recently, what has life taught me? That faith is real.
All right. That's it.
Period.
Very.
I don't have
Yes.
period. Faith
Faith
is
is
real.
real.
And
Yes.
things that been happening to me the last couple of days. Man, get off
Right.
me. Get off
exactly.
For me, don't love so hard. Because when you love so hard, like with my kind of heart, everybody ain't gonna love like you or do what you do. So don't think it's gonna be equal. And sometimes we think that, like, okay, well, why ain't they doing what I'm doing? Well, they're because you're just a little different, you know.
Right.
So don't love so hard, because even with your children, you love them, you're raising them, you the hands-on parent, then they change a little bit. They get teenage, then they start hurting your feeling because they're they're ignoring you. They don't give you the kisses no more. They don't act like but they love you, but your heart is so heavy and hurt because, well, this is not the same. You don't want to go to Waterworld no more. I mean, you don't have to get in because your hair.
Feeling it.
My whole heart just be hurting.
Broken heart.
I be trying
We
to
know,
get
and we got kids the same age.
Yeah, so I'm trying
Wait,
to
you don't like
get it.
Chuck E. Cheese no more?
They don't.
You don't want to hang out with us no more. All of a sudden, when I'm like, I don't want to go, you're like, what? You don't want to go.
I'm like, what me and your mama gonna do?
See, y'all, I'm over here like this. You don't want to go?
We need
Right,
you.
right.
Come on. We have
Right.
love with you.
You want to stay here?
Now, they got opinions now.
Yes,
Got their own opinions.
yes. That's what, they looking at it. Say, you shouldn't, or you should, or, it's just, you can't love that. And I'm not saying don't love, just don't do too much, because you
Right.
can be doing too much. Like,
Can you love too much though, Derek?
Yeah. Can I come in? What you doing now? Come sit down with me. What you want to eat?
No, you did not dare.
Here goes some more food. Is this too much? Okay, I get it.
Well, I think that's a good one. I think that's. Marie, did you share yours? You said faith, right?
Yeah,
that was really
faith is
good.
my thing.
A faith walk is a very powerful thing to definitely
Okay.
learn. Well, I want to thank all of you guys for watching. Thank you so much for tuning into the Lady Charmaine Live Show. This is Hot Topics. Do not forget, we air every Thursday night at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. But next Thursday, I will be on a cruise. Y'all celebrating my 20th wedding anniversary. Can y'all say yeah?
Well deserved. Well deserved.
So catch us definitely the following week. And plus, it'll be my birthday next week, too. So
Yeah.
hey,
Yes, so it's all in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Bang bang.
That's what we call
Another
it.
chapter.
All
Brother
good.
Johnny did that.
So we definitely want to make sure that you guys tune in. Be sure to subscribe so you guys will know when we are actually live on the air. And don't forget to also like our Facebook fan page. It's called Hot Topics Real Talk No Chaser. We want you guys to make sure you go there and make sure you guys chime in if you got a hot topic you want to talk about. Follow me on social media, Instagram. I am Lady Charmaine. Also YouTube, Lady Charmaine TV, and on Facebook, Lady Charmaine Live. And also, don't forget to follow my homies. Starting with Joe, where can they find you?
You can find me 2 weeks from this Thursday here.
That's right.
Marie?
Clap It Up Movement on Facebook, and my Beautiful Bearded Women also on Facebook. You guys check me out.
All right.
And 2 weeks from Thursday, you can find me here as well. And other than that, at Hair Hustler on Instagram and Derek Dennis on Facebook.
Well, all righty then. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. And don't forget to share this, because we would love for you guys to join in on the conversation. Make sure you keep this number 916-226-9226. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
All right.